Hello, everybody. Welcome to TOI Sports, your daily guide to all that's happening in Indian cricket. Beyond the Boundaries, the name of the show. As always, we've got a power pack panel. Nitin Naik joins us from Mumbai. Sahil Malhotra joins us from Noida. And Basu joins us from somewhere near Delhi. Thanks a lot, gentlemen, for joining us today. And you can see the smile on Arani's face because the topic that we have today is about Sanju Samson. And suddenly it seems like Sanju Samson is slowly but surely on his way out of the Indian T20 side. Nitin, what's your take on this?
Yeah, very strange, Chandresh. They picked Shubman Gill and as vice captain, so that means an automatic inclusion into the playing 11, and along with that, they have kind of scuttled two careers. One of Sanju Samson, and the other one of I think Akshar Patel, because Akshar Patel was the vice captain and was looked at as a potential leader, and because of that, I think he was also made as the captain of Delhi Capitals in the IPL. And suddenly now he's slipped down the pecking order. Also, I think what happens now with Shubman Gill opening the innings will be he will keep slipping down the batting order. The guy who played probably one of the most important knocks for India in the T20 World Cup final, 47 of 31 balls, will certainly, I think, now be batting at 7 or 8 probably. And that's where you just probably wonder whether you have already rocked a very successful T20 boat and have slipped back to we thought that we had delinked T20 from the other formats, but I think we have again in our great love to create an all format superhero or an all format star and a brand. I think we have slipped back into the old habits.
Sahil, just building from that, just because somebody is vice captain doesn't mean that he's guaranteed a place. We've had Gundappa Vishwanath, Ravi Shastri, Ajinkya Rahane being vice captain but not being guaranteed a place. In fact, the 92 World Cup, Shastri was a vice captain, was dropped after the first couple of games. So, how is this a guarantee? Or is
No,
that
I don't
something more?
see. No, I don't see a repeat of those instances which you just mentioned, Chandresh. I think Shubman Gill is starting for every game India plays now, T20 game. Even with the cramped schedule, them getting Shubman Gill is not just a reflection of what they want in T20s in future, but also a message, a undercurrent of sorts that Gill is being looked at as your next T20 captain too. Otherwise, they could have easily asked Shuman to rest because there's very little turnaround time between the home season, test season, which starts after the Asia Cup final. But that hasn't been the case. So clearly, there are a lot of undercurrents at play right now, and Times of India has been consistently maintaining that there is a lot of intention and desire to have that poster boy, so to say, which Nitin Bhai just mentioned. And Arani did that story, I think, last week, where despite all that noise which was surrounding Shubman Gill's mysterious absence or reported absence, but we stuck to the guns that there's very little cricketing logic which suggests that Shubman will not be in your T20 scheme of things. They're looking at something bigger which is at play. And I see him starting every game here. And it's unfortunate for someone like a Sanju Samson or probably current captain's 3 a.m. friend Tilak Verma, because one of them will have to warm the bench if you push Sanju down to 3, which happened at RR when Suryavanshi was opening with Jaiswal. Sanju probably was a forced dropping down to 3. So these are the only two people I see moving out. But with Gambhir's obsession with left-right, Tilak holds his place and Sanju will only play if at all required at top of the order. That's how I look at it.
Arani, coming to you now, what's your take on this? I can see a smile on your face as well when I'm asking you this question as well. Can you give us your take on this particular topic?
This, the simple thing is that yes, Yashasvi Jaiswal is not in the 15, so Sanju Samson is the third opener. That's the simple mathematics that I can do here. And and if at all, what the selectors have been doing over the last 6 months has been going around in the IPL, talking to the KL Rahuls and the Rishabh Pants, asking them to bat in the middle or lower middle order. That's the kind of combination they've been looking with the wicket keeper. Clearly, Gill was always slated to come back and take that opening spot. So that was reserved for Gill, and they wanted a wicketkeeper down the order. Now it's up to Sanju if he agrees to play that role, which he's a bit uncomfortable with. He won't get. It will be very tough to fit him in the top three. I think with the Tilak and Surya around, or maybe Surya has to do the heavy lifting at number five. So that's the kind of thing that they're looking at. The issue is that they don't have a strong finishing base. This team, that all the firepower is at the top. So they need a wicket keeper or someone to do that finishing job. That the run rates have come down for all the hitting that Sanju and Abhishek have done in the last three series. If you browse the scoreboards, the strike rates and run rates have we have finished weaker in every innings. So let's accept it. Hardik Pandya is not the power hitter that he used to be. So they
Yeah.
need a backup down the order. And with Sanju, I believe, see, if you look at the last series that he played against England, that was the full attack that he played. Mark Wood, Jofra Archer, he struggled. He struggled to get going. So those are indications that he has fallen behind. His IPL form, even though the selectors say that the established players' IPL form doesn't matter to them, but there I think Sanju was always filling in for someone, and Abhishek Sharma having a better T20 record that innings at Wankhede may have won him the place over Sanju there. And with Sanju, what I've known is that previous managements have also been very reluctant to give him a run. I don't know. There are players who will always be that kind of player. They will be struggling to cement their places, convince. We have been talking about certain players in the test team as well. Rahul Dravid, we all thought that Rahul Dravid had great affection and fondness for Sanju Samson, but he did not get a game at the T20 World Cup. So, and somehow I feel this move has left the door open for Rishabh Pant as well, with him being the left-hander. And what I have known from the team managements, previous team managements, they are not looking at any player to play consistently through the tournament. They need players to step up in one or two matches. So six players stepping up in two matches, that gets you through the tournament there. And when it comes to a punt or anything, they see a punt is technically superior than Sanju when things get tough. There in those innings in New York and all that, they don't see Sanju playing that. But having said that, I think Sanju should have gotten one more chance to fail actually.
Nitin, I'm just throwing to comments and questions that are coming from our
Hmm.
subscribers so that it becomes easier for us to take this conversation forward. Our regular Arvind Atreyas has started off as always for us. He stays at Samson, KL Rahul are soft spoken. That's why no one cares about them. Samson said Gambhir won't drop him even after 22 ducks, but after seeing that episode, he's getting dropped in the next match only. Uh, and Arvind Atreya says if Rishabh Pant was fit, he would have replaced Samson. And so, what's your take on this whole thing?
Soft spoken, I don't know. I think I think he will have to speak to some of the Kerala Cricket Association guys whether he is really soft spoken or
They
not.
can speak to me as well. They can speak to me as well.
He can speak to
Yeah.
you as well.
So,
But I feel that what I think Aurani put it beautifully that they've kept a door open for Rishabh Pant as well. I don't think Sanju really helped his cause by falling repeatedly to the short ball against Zofra Archer and
Yeah.
Mark Wood. I think all five dismissals. I think he got out pulling on shorter grounds in Indian conditions. So I think that's what and the three hundreds that he got. I think one was a second string attack in South Africa in November, and also the one in Bangladesh. And I think Chandresh, what I feel is the selectors. In Hindi we say shatak ya batak. I don't think the selectors are very comfortable with such kind of wild inconsistency. I
Yeah.
know three hundreds followed by two ducks, again two ducks followed by 200s. I think then it becomes a little difficult for someone to get a long run. I mean, it's all wonderful to go on a YouTube show and say that Gambhir told me that even after I scored 21 ducks, I'm sure that was a wild exaggeration. I don't think anyone would have justified 21 ducks here. But I think what Agarkar said in the press conference yesterday, I mean, I went back and I saw the whole PC again, and I think what he said was Sanju was playing only because Gill and Jaiswal
Yeah.
were not available, and I think that line has to be underlined and looked deeper into, because I think what he said, what he meant, that was not just about opening; he also meant there about playing 11. I think the fact that now both of them are there, I don't think they're looking at him as a top three batter also.
Okay. Sahil, a few comments and few directed towards you as well. So I'll take them in a bunch. Becomes easier for you to answer. Cosmic Seer says, I think ये GG के शब्द हैं. Now, Sanju Samson is not just the best wicketkeeper batsman in India, but the best young batsman in India. Anyone up for debate? And there's one comment about Sahil. Arvind Atreya says Sahil wanted Gill as captain. He was saying since England tour. सो आपके ऊपर भी एक सवाल है अपार्ट फ्रॉम अजीत अगरकर एंड देयर वाज वन मोर क्वेश्चन व्हिच सेज साहिल भाई पुष्पा वाती से साहिल भाई आई थिंक दुबे they are trying him as sixth bowling option, but I think Washi, Krunal, NKR, these players will be at number 8. I guess what's your take? And there's one more question for you about number 8 being Vipraj Nigam. And suddenly Vipraj Nigam has become this favorite. I don't know from where. There's a lot of comments about Vipraj Nigam. Is it because of recency bias? Because the Delhi Premier League is going on?
नो विपराज तो यूपी खेलते हैं और विपराज का इतना बात हो रहा है तो फिर आप सोचो दिल्ली ने कितना टेरिबल सीजन किया है कि विपराज निगम का हम दिल्ली कैपिटल्स के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. सो दैट इज अ रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ द काइंड ऑफ सीजन दिल्ली कैपिटल्स हैड. बट जोक्स अपार्ट ऑन दैट फ्रंट, आई थिंक नंबर 8 के ऊपर आई वाज रीडिंग समवेयर आल्सो दैट देयर इज दिस होल ह्यू एंड क्राई अबाउट बैटिंग डेप्थ. I think 7 के beyond 7 तक भी आप बैटिंग देख रहे हो T20 में, it's a luxury. No matter how slam bang you go, if you have good batters till 7, you are sorted. Don't be fussy about depth so much कि you end up compromising your 16 good overs which your 4 specialist bowlers will give. Who I see Bumrah, Arshdeep, Varun Chakravarti, Kuldeep Yadav to do a fair, more than decent job, and then you have Akshar Patel, Hardik Pandya to fill in those 4 more overs if and when required. That's a different discussion. But शुभमन गिल आई वांटेड एज कैप्टन. मेरे कहने से कुछ नहीं चलता इंडियन क्रिकेट के अंदर. हम एक सिर्फ क्रिकेटिंग लॉजिक को कनेक्ट कर रहे थे एज डॉट्स बिकॉज Shuman was obviously riding that recency bias wave, and the moment things turned out the way they did on day 5 at the Oval, that 57 minutes when it turned India's way, we all knew that something bigger was in the offing for Shuman, because it wasn't easy to draw that series. Yes, we were in a position of far better control to have probably won 3-1, but then 2-0 was 2-all was a scoreline which they would have taken with both arms wide open. Even after the kind of bowling attack England had, you were always going and touring abroad. You didn't have that stability in the batting order. A lot of questions on Gill's form. 750 run kiya yaar, 2-all kara, and then whatever is happening around him. And I think he has handled it very well. What he has handled after the England series, and even after all that noise which was happening, I can say it with some sort of authority that Shubman was actually at peace with what was happening. He was very assured in his head of what is happening with him for the next 6 months. और आपको उसकी तरफ से कुछ ऐसा desperation दिखा नहीं चीजों के अंदर. So that speaks of the clarity which people have given him for his role.
Sahil, just to stop you, Cosmic Seer is asking, मतलब अगर ये इंग्लैंड सीरीज में हम हारते और गिल फ्लॉप होता तो वो T20 टीम में नहीं होता? He's asking
very much possible. Yeah, very much possible. That is very much possible. That is, boss, Indian cricket ऐसे ही चलता है यार. You're as good as your last series. और Shubman Gill, before the England series, before the Leeds test got underway, there were a lot of question marks. Headlines were dark, bold and beautiful, questioning Shubman Gill's batting away from home. It was always a question mark, and I still feel it will remain a question mark till he comes good on those spicy and bouncy pitches in Australia and South Africa. These still weren't your testing England surfaces. Yes, the challenge was tough. Mentally, you were challenged. Ben Stokes pushed you to the tee. But then, if the surfaces are concerned, I think apart from the oval and to a certain extent the Manchester pitch, which
Manchester.
had some variable bounce towards the end, I think these were good true batting wickets. And even the overhead sky didn't make a lot of difference to the pitch below. So ऑल सेड एंड डन क्वेश्चन मार्क्स थे गिल के ऊपर और अभी भी रहेंगे मैं तो कहूंगा बट अगर गिल का ये सीरीज नहीं ठीक रहता इंग्लैंड का बोथ एज अ कैप्टन एंड एज अ बैटर things would have been completely different. But right now, as things stand, he's even breathing down Surya's neck for a T20 captaincy spot for 2026. Nothing is cast in stone in Indian cricket. मतलब हम 7 महीने आगे की बात कर रहे हैं, यहाँ पे 7 घंटे में चीजें बदल जाती है. So मतलब ये तो बहुत प्रीमेच्योर होगा कि हम अभी बोलें कि हाँ 10 महीने बाद यही खेलेगा या ये नहीं खेलेगा. और अभी ऋषभ की बात हुई, मतलब मैं तो अभी ये 20 का पूल आइडेंटिफाई हुआ है. You just can't write off someone like a Shreyas Iyer right now. Tilak Verma, if he doesn't have a good Asia Cup, Shreyas Iyer walks into at number 3. तो बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जो चेंज होंगी एंड they did hint the fact that this is not your final T20 World Cup squad. They will keep changing. You are going to Australia. You have a good home season before the T20 World Cup starts. So a good sample size to figure out your T20 squad. And there will be changes. There will be changes for sure.
Orani, there are some questions for you as well. Sharan says, not a problem that they brought Gill back. I think problem was making him vice captain so that he doesn't miss the 11. And Arvind Atreya says, Arani, KL Rahul also scored 500 runs in England, 500 runs in IPL with 150 strike rate. Why only Gill? And
See,
I'll just have one more point, and then we'll come to that. Shubhan Goel says Gill in T20 has average 30, 140 strike rate. Jaiswal in T20 has average 36, 165 strike rate. And if both were rested after Sri Lanka tour, then why does that apply for Gill's recall and not Jaiswal, even when he was the reserve in the T20 World Cup and Jaiswal was part of the squad?
so I'll answer the Jaiswal thing first. I think Abhishek Sharma's performance, that Wankhede innings, actually is very difficult to ignore. And you're looking at Shubman Gill as a prospective for all format captain. So let's make peace with it now. Uh, it is the fact. This is the hard fact. Shubman Gill is going to be the face of Indian cricket. At least they're trying to make him that face. So let's keep that aside. So that's where the Jaiswal's place comes in. You need left right, and again, you if you want to give Sanju some opportunity, then you have to have Sanju as a backup opener there as well. So that's where SHP has lost out. And again, it doesn't say anywhere that Yashasvi is ruled out of the T20 World Cup. There are
Yeah.
15 T20 Is after this, 15 or 20 T20 Is after the Asia Cup. So that's a
15.
long time. 20 games or 15 games are a lot of matches in Indian crickets to change the team. So that's the Jaiswal thing. KL Rahul's, I know for a fact, KL Rahul was asked to bat in the middle order in IPL. He started. He
Yeah.
was not comfortable because he was not getting the volume of runs that he's comfortable with. And when he did come up the order, he scored 180 something. He got runs, but the power play that he batted, each of those matches, the run rate was six. The first 6 overs. When he took time against Siraj or Prasid or anyone, he
Yeah.
he caught up, but the team fell behind. And each of those matches, Delhi Capitals lost comfortably. So they were comfortably 20, 30 runs. See, that's what I had written and said also that Gautam Gambhir breaks up the T20 game as 120 balls in 120 balls, not overs. So he sees who's making that the most impact on that particular delivery according to the situation. So KL always been that you can see there is some inhibition in his batting in the T20 cricket. He is not sure if he wants to go all out. He's not that inherent blaster of a ball. He couldn't even clear the boundary till he played for India. He himself had admitted to it. So he's an acquired power hitter. He has acquired that skills. So that's not helping him in modern day cricket. He was at his peak when he was a lot younger. He was this brash. He wanted to be this brash kid like Virat Kohli and scored those couple of hundreds in T20 cricket. Unluckily for him, there were no T20 World Cups at that time. By the time the T20 World Cup came, he somehow got confused with his place. There was Shikhar Dhawan. He gets very cagey when there's someone breathing down his neck. So his 500 runs were, if you see, those were not exactly very assured runs, but those were not dominant runs like Shubman Gill's or Rishabh Pant's. They dominated the English attack. KL Rahul grafted it. He did his job perfectly well. He was not running away with the game anyway. So you keep KL Rahul out of this. I think KL Rahul has, I think for some, uh, Shikhar Dhawan has not got as long a rope as KL Rahul did in T20 crickets. So that's why I feel KL Rahul has fallen behind a long back. So KL Rahul was not in contention in that regard. His only chance was that if he was flourishing as a middle order wicket keeper. So that's how these two things have worked out.
Okay. We just a request, everyone. Just keep sending the questions just once. Don't keep sending it again and again. It becomes difficult to sift through it. Nitin, sports fan, has a few comments. He's angry that I've not taken his comments so far. Sanju has made substantial progress. Earlier, he used to miss out on squad. अब कम से कम 15 में select हो रहा है. So he's made that progress in his career. And sports fan also says 11 में आने के लिए संजू should switch franchise. Maybe he changes his fortunes. What's your take on this?
Maybe. I mean, his recent form. Also, I think he was injured, and I think that Dravid and Sanju romance also, I think, has kind of run its course. So I think it's been a combination of a few bad months for Sanju Samson, which has coincided into his, his I wouldn't say omission, but he has slipped down, the pecking order in terms of where the team management sees him. And as I mentioned earlier, I think all those 5 dismissals against England have played their part as well. I think he looked a bit rushed. He looked a bit uncomfortable with. I mean, having faced Zofra Archer so much in the nets, I thought that he would be able to find a way out, but he was not able to. But again, as Aroni and Sahil also said, that there's still some time. 15 games, maybe on truer wickets in Australia, maybe he may find his mojo again. But for the time being, I think he'll have to wait his turn, because unless Abhishek Sharma has 5 or 6 bad games, then only I think they look to tweak this lineup. I think that for now, I think Sanju will have to wait his turn, especially if he aspires to bat in the top 3. I do not know whether the team management will be comfortable in sending Tilak at number 5 and giving Sanju at least the number 3 spot, because that would mean 3 right-handers back to back, which Gambhir does not like. So he'll have to wait his turn. I don't think changing of the franchises, maybe for his own personal growth and well-being, that will help, especially if it's a franchise that will make him a little bit more visible. I think what happened here with Rajasthan Royals was the spotlight all of a sudden was taken away from him. I don't think he was very happy also with Josh Butler being let go, and I think he made that point, very vocally. So I think there are some issues which he needs to sort out, and he also, I think, needs to be a little bit fitter. He gets injured a little too often. I think at the Wankhede here against Sri Lanka, he twisted his ankle in 2023. That's where he lost out on the stretch of T20 games. And strangely, every year, whenever there is a World Cup, he gets left out of that format and asked to play another format. In the 2023 World Cup, he was 50-over World Cup. He was asked to play only T20s. During the 2022 T20 World Cup, he was asked to play mostly one-dayers. So it's a bit strange.
I think it answers that where the selectors see him. He's always in the second string.
Yeah. But playing a event in UAE and not having Sanju Sahil, that's also not fair, no?
Yeah.
Not fair at all. Sanju chants will be missed. But let's see here. I completely agree with that. I think there was a time where last team management was very confident in Sanju that, if you're looking at someone who can start hitting sixes from the word go, they were looking Sanju for that position. But slowly he moved up the ladder and he became the opener, scored his runs there. But अब तो केएल राहुल भी वही कर रहा है चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी में. Earlier this year, all I saw him train was just hitting sixes because his role in the ODI side has now become that of a finisher with Aksar batting at 5. So even in ODIs, you technically now need a number 6 batter who can keep wickets. So things are kind of changing. So you are kind of getting sense of how highly this management, at least not just this management, even last management, rate Aksar the batter in both T20s and ODIs. And I hope not. I hope not. What Nitin Bhai was saying earlier in the show about Aksar dropping to 7-8. I hope not ki wo ho, because I think Aksar at 4 or 5 gives them a lot of flexibility and allows you to continue with that left right. If Surya comes at 4, Aksar can come at 5. Then Hardik and Jitesh or whoever your finisher is can come at 6, 7, 8, whichever way you want. But please don't drop Aksar to 7, 8 and waste him. He's
No.
very
So,
good for 5, I think.
Sahil, just on this, Kerala Nazrene says 76 failures of Pant is okay, but one dry series for Sanju is an unforgettable sin. The same Kerala Nazrene says Sanju should change his surname from Samson to Sharma or Verma Pant, which will make selectors and so-called analysts happy. See,
नहीं
you're
नहीं
already
अभी कोई
happy. You're already happy.
नहीं
You're
नहीं
making, you're
मैं
happy.
तो I am happy at the combination in the way he has put it. Kerala, he or she, Kerala भी है, Samson, Sharma, Verma, Pant, सब कुछ है. मतलब क्या
The
यहाँ पे
funny part
बासु
is
भी
that
डालो,
Sharma
ट्राई
Verma
भी
is
डालो.
also a South Indian surname.
तो मतलब सी आई डोंट थिंक ऐसा चल रहा है. और अभी हम लोग को ये थोड़ी कह रहे हैं आप ऋषभ पंत को T20 में लेकर आओ. ऋषभ पंत को भी अगर T20 11 के अंदर आना पड़ेगा, उसको डिफिकल्ट जॉब करना पड़ेगा, विच इज टू फिनिश गेम्स, विच इज अगेन नॉट हैज बीन हिज स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट सूट इन द लास्ट 2-3 इयर्स. ऋषभ को T20 24 वर्ल्ड कप में भी 3 नंबर बैटिंग करा रहे थे, ऊपर करा रहे थे, बिकॉज क्लियरली लास्ट 2-3 इयर्स में ऋषभ का गेम, it has kind of remodeled into a game where you see him consuming more deliveries up front. He's not that batter anymore who will come and hit sixes from ball go. So अगर ऋषभ भी T20 के अंदर आता है तो वो भी 6-7 ही खेलने वाला है, तो वो आसान ऋषभ के लिए भी नहीं होने वाला. और कोई हम ये नहीं कह रहे कि वाइल्ड कार्ड मिला हुआ है ऋषभ को कि ऋषभ आएगा. We are just saying that there's a door open for everyone right now, even for a Dhruv Jurel, even for a Jitesh Sharma to cement that spot. You just need a finisher in this setup. That is what we're trying to say. KL Rahul unfortunately isn't one right now. Rishabh Pant is an option. ईशान किशन isn't an option. He also bats in top 3. So जो ऑप्शन बचा है वही बोलेंगे ना. हम किरण मोरे थोड़ी बोल रहे हैं 6 पे आके खेलेगा. जो खेल रहा है भाई उसी का नाम ले रहे हैं. अब फॉर्चुनेटली अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो ऋषभ पंत है, क्योंकि ग्रेड ए कॉन्ट्रैक्टेड प्लेयर आपका वही है. सो यू विल लुक एट द पूल ऑफ प्लेयर्स यू हैव एट योर डिस्पोजल, एंड ही वाज पार्ट ऑफ द T20 वर्ल्ड कप विनिंग साइड. सो व्हाई नॉट टॉक अबाउट हिम?
Yeah, so a lot of questions and comments coming, Orani. Akash Biswas says a planned exit for Samson, move him to middle order. He underperforms and then probably a farewell game at the Greenfield Stadium. Nihal Singh says, don't think Agarkar or Gigi follow Greenstone Lobo, our in-house astrologer. Dark Knight says, including Gill, it's clear that Samson, Abhishek, Tilak can't play together. If they play, they have to play out of their places. Kiran Kumar Sports says, if India loses Asia Cup, team management said, other country win cup, our team win hearts. और कॉस्मिक सियर तो इज वेरी एंग्री. अभी इतना गुस्सा आ रहा है मुझे ये जीजी और सेलेक्टर्स पे. क्या आपको भी गुस्सा आ रहा है और नहीं?
नहीं, हम तो यहाँ पे एनालाइज ही कर रहे हैं. सो लाइक आप मतलब I don't think it's a planned exit for Sanju. See, what Gill has got is, I think he's earned it in a way over a period of time. चलो जो that होता है, after a long time after Virat and Rohit, you have a bankable batsman across formats. What I gather from team management and selectors is that in big tournaments, you need a batter who can bat 20 overs when you are 3 down and still can take you to 170.
Just like
Keep
the
the match
final.
alive. Yeah, just like the final that happened. So that's their thinking actually. And for Sanju, if you look at his career, he was averaging 18 before that Bangladesh series. He wasn't scoring runs in that Bangladesh series till he arrived at Hyderabad, and then scored that century in Hyderabad against Bangladesh, and then he moved. And like Nitin said, this wild inconsistencies in his game. I've spoken to former selectors as well. Even in IPL, he will score 200, still finish with 450 runs only in IPL. So that's the kind of inconsistency that you see if you want. He's not a young man anymore. He's 31, I guess. I think he
Yeah,
played. He was in that under 19 side with Unmukt Chand first. So then he played. So he's been around for a long time. He played his first Rajasthan Royals game in that CL T20 with Rahul Dravid was batting with him. So he's that ancient now. So that's a lot of time for Sanju to make a case for himself and cement the place for himself.
yeah,
Rishabh Pant was nowhere around in that scene when he started out. There was no Ishan Kishan, there was no one. So it was up to him to make the place his own. Maybe there was MS Dhoni and all that. He got his first break ahead of everyone else. So there, it brings me back to something that Parthiv Patel always says. That everyone tells me, had it not been for Dhoni, you could have played a lot more. Then Parthiv says that I always got the first crack at the Indian team. I got 3 years. I was drafted in before 3 years before Dhoni. I could not make the place for my mine. So that's the thing that he has to accept. I think that's the problem with the Sanju. That while inconsistencies, and it's all or nothing. You cannot have that all or nothing when you're playing for 10, 12 years at the highest level. I think that's where the team management loses that faith in him. And that if you look at his Ranji record, he has not done well. The list A wasn't good. He doesn't take the accusations are that he does not take domestic cricket seriously. There have been a lot of accusations against him as well. So
yeah.
that's all of those things pile up actually with Sanju. But yes, in this case, I truly believe he could have got another chance to fail because one series, yeah, it's a bit harsh when he was getting on a roll. He was finally settling down at a number. That's where I think. But with Gill, it's like this time is now or never kind of thing with Gill. That we have to get him in. He's red hot. His confidence is right up there. Maybe he could be batting at a better strike rate just because of that confidence he's carrying. And now he wants to lead that side and everything. So you want that presence. He has built himself that where that he has got that aura about himself. When he steps onto the field, the opposition will worry about him. That's the thing that Gill has created for himself. I mean, that's where I think Sanju has fallen behind. That England series, that was the only series where he played a full international attack, at a full strength international attack. That's where he had to come good. Abhishek Sharma did, he couldn't. That's the problem.
Also, I mean, if I may, sorry to interject here, but if you look at all the previous managements also, I mean, Ravi Shastri on
Hmm,
air right now keeps on raving about Sanju's talent
hmm,
and
hmm.
everything. But when he also was there in charge and Virat Kohli was there, even Virat Kohli says how talented Sanju Samson is. But
Hmm.
even when they were in charge for 4 5 years, they did not give Sanju a break, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
there was
Yeah,
always
they
either
played him in New Zealand on and off and that kind of thing. They
yeah,
gave him
yeah.
5 games in New Zealand. He couldn't score runs there.
15,
So
yeah,
that's the thing.
after 2015, he straight away played in 2020. So
Yeah,
and so I think there have been several team managements that have been a bit reluctant to
I
give him a
think
run. So
I
I
think
think that
Nitin,
also needs.
it comes
Yeah,
down to that they look at the technique that if you can survive the good ball as well.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's the problem with Sanju. That good ball, he cannot keep out that good ball.
Yeah.
That's the thing with Sanju, I think.
So, Cosmic Seer is continuing with his comments from yesterday, and Nitin, I want your indulgence in Sahil as well. गिल का भी हाल बाबर जैसा होगा जैसे उन्होंने जबरदस्ती किंग बनाया बाबर को उसे उसे सेम बीसीसीआई जबरदस्ती गिल को प्रिंस बनाने में तुली हुई है एंड कॉस्मिक सीर आल्सो सेज अगर कर कल ये बोल रहे थे इट्स देयर हेडेक टू पिक द बैटिंग लाइनअप और जॉब आवर जॉब वाज टू सेलेक्ट 15 मतलब इस सिलेक्शन में स्काई का कुछ रोल ही नहीं है कोई टीम कॉम्बिनेशन नहीं देखा बस सेलेक्ट कर दिया टीम को एंड Sahil also chip in here. Puspa Vati and this person also asked yesterday. Sahil, bhai, where is your friend Gaurav Gupta, PR of Shreyas here? The article, big joke. He's three format player. He'll just play, be just odd player. He won't get opportunities in Test and T20. Raigiri Jagdish says test player Gill. And Kerala Nazrene says, I think GT and Sky will go with Gill, Abhishek, Sanju, Sky, Tilak, Hardik, Rinku, Aksar batting lineup. And there's one more. Test player Gill will get place in T20 and failed player Pant will get place in T20. But finalist captain Iyer will not get place in T20. There's a lot of anger against Gill. And Sunny says if Samson misses the World Cup, then it will be hard for him next World Cup. These younger openers will move just forward in hierarchy. But they're already looking at 2028. And Arjun Arju says we South Indians need separate team.
That's stepping into dangerous territory now.
I'm not entering that. तो वे पहले वाला step by step चलते हैं. देखो, I will not be surprised if Sanju Samson doesn't make the T20 World Cup squad, because you would want to beef up a wicket keeper who has that finishing ability. अभी उसके अंदर it could be a 3-way 4-way contest. Jitesh है, Rishabh है, Dhruv Jurel है. So don't be surprised what happens there. As far as वो PR-VR कोई नहीं होता यार, जो आप लोग लिखते हो कि अगर कोई आर्टिकल पढ़ा तो मतलब कोई PR-VR किसी का नहीं होता. आज मैं गिल की बात कर रहा हूँ तो मैं गिल का PR हूँ क्या? या नितिन भाई अभी संजू को डिफेंड कर रहे थे वहां पे टैलेंट को, तो वो संजू के PR नहीं है. इट इज बेस्ड ऑन व्हाट वी पिक अप, एंड श्रेयस अय्यर डेफिनेटली इज इन द स्कीम ऑफ थिंग्स, एंड maybe they're not finding a way to have that too many one-dimensional players. By one-dimensional, I mean प्योर बैटर्स. अब शुभमन गिल और श्रेयस अय्यर स्ट्राइक रेट के लाइक फॉर लाइक कंपैरिजन में अगर हम नहीं जाते, दे आर काइंड ऑफ सिमिलर मोल्ड के प्लेयर्स. टॉप ऑर्डर बैटर्स टॉप 3 में खेल सकते हैं, नीचे जगह नहीं है. सो वो प्रॉब्लम श्रेयस के लिए हुआ, एंड समथिंग व्हिच डिडंट वर्क इन हिज फेवर वाज दैट ही वाज अ राइट हैंडर, बिकॉज Gambhir wants left-handers. The way he has created his Ranji Trophy sides also, वो lefties का एक obsession गंभीर को bowlers में भी चाहिए और batters में भी चाहिए. वो left right. Sai Sudarshan got to play at number 3 for India in Test, and what worked in his favor was that he's a left-hander. Gambhir likes having left-handers in the mix, and that is how Shreyas Iyer kind of dropped off the radar for this Asia Cup. Is he out of the scheme of things? No. पुष्पवाती, this article and this comment will come back to bite you, क्योंकि अभी इंडियन क्रिकेट में किसी को आप राइट ऑफ नहीं कर सकते. एक सीरीज किसी का खराब गया, अच्छा गया, बहुत चीजें बदल सकती हैं और वो जरूर बदलेंगी, क्योंकि आप एक रेड हॉट प्लेयर को इग्नोर नहीं कर सकते, चाहे वो श्रेयस हो, जैसे शुभमन के साथ अभी हुआ. और शुभमन कोई बाबर नहीं बनने वाले भाई, आप गलत कंपैरिजन कर रहे हैं. शुभमन एट सच अ यंग एज हैज शुभमन्स राइज in Indian cricket has been very organic. आप देखो, जब वो अंडर 19 वर्ल्ड कप भी खेला था, he wasn't that hype player. उस टाइम पे फास्ट बॉलर्स की बात हो रही थी, पृथ्वी शॉ की बात हो रही थी. शुभमन ने एक बहुत अच्छा नॉक खेला पाकिस्तान के अगेंस्ट, बट वो फिर भी स्लिप्ड अंडर द रेडार था उस वर्ल्ड कप में. he took his due time. कैप्टेंसी उसने कभी नहीं करा था, बट देयर वर पीपल इन द सेटअप हु आइडेंटिफाइड हिम एज अ कैप्टन. रवि शास्त्री हैज बीन गोइंग गागा ओवर इट दैट दे आइडेंटिफाइड हिम वेरी अर्ली एज द लीडर ऑफ इंडियन क्रिकेट. सो नथिंग हैपेंड मतलब ऐसा बाय टैलेंट और बाय चांस विद गिल ना, सब कुछ ऑर्गेनिकली हुआ. और अभी भी आप देखो उसका T20 लीडरशिप भी आपको स्टेप बाय स्टेप होते हुए दिखेगा. और 2026 इंडिया T20 वर्ल्ड कप, मुझे शुभमन गिल ही इंडिया को लीड करता हुआ दिख रहा है. माहौल क्या बनेगा, सर्कमस्टेंसेस क्या बनेंगे, बट दिस इज हाउ आई सी दिस इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम heading towards, the direction I see them heading towards. ODI
you're making a big statement, Sahil, that
that's how I look at it.
No, even I second that. I won't be surprised if he goes out to toss in February. I won't be surprised.
T20 World Cup. Yeah, a lot of
in the T20 World Cup.
Yeah.
So what happens?
No, I'm saying the chances are negligible. It's not much, but there is a fair chance. That's what we're saying.
See, what I feel is this appointment of Gill is also like putting Surya on notice, right? It's like it's basically putting Sky on notice, because he's had a poor run as well. I mean, forget his idea.
He became captain.
And Nitin bhai, if you just remove that IPL, where again, if you all would have noticed, there was that sense of desperation, because the same Surya Kumar Yadav, who had vacated the number 3 for Tilak Verma in internationals, moved back to top of the order for MI, and Tilak was pushed down the order because everyone sensed that feeling that Sky is in desperate need of a good IPL season.
Yeah, yeah,
Had
yeah.
that 700 run season not happened, Surya's stocks were not at all bullish. They were on a bear run in T20 internationals ever since he took captaincy. So all that changed after the IPL. He's still
Yeah,
holding on
yeah.
to that captaincy spot. But as everyone has been saying, 15 T20s is a bloody long time.
Fitness
But
also is
but
an issue.
Raigiri Jagdish
Yeah.
doesn't agree with both of you, Sahil and Arani. He says in future Abhishek Sharma will be T20 captain for India.
वो ठीक है बट अभी नितिन भाई ने फिटनेस का एक टच किया सो आई जस्ट वांटेड टू टच दैट पॉइंट बिकॉज सूर्या वाज गिवन अ फिटनेस क्लियरेंस सर्टिफिकेट एकदम ऐसे क्लियर एकदम पूरा एकदम गाने बजाने के साथ हुआ उसका sports hernia. I was speaking to someone yesterday. So Bhuvneshwar Kumar had that recurring problem of a sports hernia because he was rushing himself back to action because there was that urge in fast bowlers then to play all formats and tab Bhuvi wanted to play all three formats. With Surya, last 3 years में 2 बार sports hernia का issue हुआ है and sports hernia is a very dodgy thing. Why I say that? Because if you don't do your rehab with the time it is required, it can continue to be a recurring issue. Right now, there's desperation in Surya to play T20s because that's the only format he's playing for India, and that's the only format he's going to play for India. So उसमें वो desperation है, but खुदा ना खास्ता अगर वो खिंचाव हुआ कुछ हुआ, so you never know. There's a Gill waiting in the wings right behind him.
Syed Nizamuddin says Gill is not a T20 player. इसको लाकर सारी टीम का बैलेंस बिगाड़ दिया. Or any final comment from you before we wind up?
No, I had explained why Gill was here. See, Abhi, what happens? This generation of Indian cricketers are bred on T20 cricket. Unlike the Virat Kohlis and Rohit Sharma, who played a lot of red ball cricket in their clubs, academies, and they start out playing white ball cricket. So, वो six hitting आती है इन लोगों को. It's about the approach. If we want to play long or not care at all about the number of runs that we score. That separates the players, T20 players these days. That's what we are talking about. It's not about the ability. In the 2023 wala IPL, I guess, when he scored those 860 runs or something, he was winning matches single-handedly with the tail even. Even with he was chasing down 12 runs per over single-handedly. So, वो है उसमें. I think that's the thing. Gill's that foundation of Gill's batting, it can see him through. It's about his approach now. It's completely up to his down to his approach. How he approaches a T20 innings, if he wants to dominate or anchor. And then the team management has to decide if there is a place for an anchor in this team. Because other teams like Australia and England they have given up on the concept of anchors. They don't even talk about that concept. India, for somehow, we are a very conservative breed. We are like we need to be very मतलब होता ना कि थोड़ा सा इंश्योरेंस लेके चलो. And in Dubai pitches and all that, if we are playing on those kind of wickets that we played on in Champions Trophy, then you need a proper batsman there to bat at least 13 overs for you, keep you in the game. वो मार के खड़ी करके आउट ना हो जाए. So someone has to keep that in control, keep the innings in control. I think that's why. And Gill's whatever has happened over the last 3 months, Gill has been identified as the face of Indian cricket. मैं बार बार बोल रहा हूँ, let's make peace with it. अभी डिबेट नहीं करते, एक साल बाद डिबेट करते. If he's not been able to deliver, and I think going forward, the way Gambhir has reacted to Rishabh Pant after that Manchester when he came out with a broken foot, I think Gill and Pant in another 6 months will be leading Indian cricket across formats. There is a strong chance of that.
Also, Chandresh, sorry again.
Yeah.
During the 2023 World Cup, what happened was I think Gill had suffered from dengue or whatever in the first couple of games, and the minute that he got fit, the minute I think he got fit against the Pakistan game at Ahmedabad. Yeah, the minute he got fit, they immediately drafted him in. So successive managements, be it Ravi Shastri, be it Rohit and Dravid, and the current one, obviously, he's in the leadership group now. So successive managements have identified that this is the guy who we need to invest and give him a long run.
Nitin,
And
but
one more thing, if I may
other,
add, What we are discussing here is we are not ruling out Sanju Samson. We are just
Yeah,
saying where he stands and if he's falling down the pecking order. That's
absolutely,
what we are
absolutely.
discussing. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the thing that has to be clear. It's not that we have just written of Sanju Samson. He might bat at number 3 or 4 and have a great Asia Cup and retain his spot. That's very much possible actually.
Yeah, Nitin, just on that point, but 21, 22, and 24, Gill did not even make it to the squad for the T20 World Cups. He was not
Yeah,
even on the reserve. Only in 24 he was in the reserves.
yeah.
So this is a massive leap of faith in the T20 format. That's what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, but
For Gill.
post his switch from KKR to GT, I think he's become a different T20 batter. Let's also take that into account. I think 2022 was. I think he also got that opening spot consistently at G, or rather in 2021 when he and Venkatesh Iyer started opening the innings for KKR
Yeah.
once they moved to the UAE. I think that's where I think he really rediscovered his T20 game, and once he moved to GT, obviously he got the platform to bat, and set the pace really. And once 2023 happened and he had that great year overall across formats, I think he's now a different batter altogether.
And I think there's two
And
places
Chandresh,
vacated by
Chandresh
Rohit
just
and Virat
Yeah,
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
what I was saying. It was not गिल
Mm.
से ज्यादा ये गलती था कि जो आप खिला रहे थे, आप रोहित को भी खिला रहे थे, विराट को भी खिला रहे थे, केएल को भी खिला रहे थे, तो वहां पे गिल का जगह कैसे बनता? नाउ अभिषेक शर्मा, तिलक वर्मा, सूर्य कुमार यादव maybe have carved out a place for someone like Gill who can still look fashionable with this game in
yeah.
this format.
So one final question to all three of you, and Kiran Kumar Sports has the best question of the day. My question is, when is Ajit Agarkar's tenure as chief selector ending? He does not want to know any. He does not want to know.
2027 ODI World
Yeah,
Cup. He'll be
four
picking the
years.
2027 ODI World Cup.
27 तक
So,
अगर इन
अच्छा
लोगों
तो
को भ्रम है, वो
कैसे बैठ
भ्रम
जाओ?
अभी दूर कर लो. गौतम गंभीर और चेयरमैन 27 तक कहीं नहीं जा रहे हैं.
Yeah,
बाकी किसी
नहीं,
और को हटाना है तो कॉन्स्पिरेसी थ्योरी शुरू कर दो. ये दोनों कहीं नहीं जा रहे हैं.
Okay. On that note, thanks a lot, gentlemen, for joining us today
Thank
on
you.
Beyond the Boundary. We'll be back soon with one more show. All of you, just remember, like, share, subscribe, comment on our videos, be part of the conversation that we are having here, and also just comment once so that it becomes easier for us to sift through everything. Thanks a lot, gentlemen. Thanks a lot, everyone watching, and thanks a lot, everyone in the back end team. We'll be back soon with another show. Till then, take good care of yourselves. Goodbye.